operation tonight, Natasha. Deputy Director Dan Bongino searching for any information about this person who was caught on video throwing rocks at unmarked federal vehicles. That later reportedly left minor injuries on one of the drivers of that vehicle that the rock was thrown at. You could see it in the video. And Bongino stating, "I strongly suggest you turn yourself in. It's only a matter of time." This all coming in posts on social media. We'll see what more they have to say on this. But of course, we've seen the governor of California weigh in on social media, President Trump as well, the federal response weighing in here as well, and the Trump administration aiming to put a strong foot forward as they respond to these protests in LA tonight with this presidential memorandum that they just announced from the White House. Natasha.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download.
Interesting. Okay. When is looting justified? When it's a matter of life and death. Okay. If you're starving, you can pretty much almost justify anything, okay? Technically speaking, okay? Shit. What was your question about? What question?
That's called the country Columbia. In tear gas. Hey, tear gas! Tear gas! Look at all the tear gas! Wow! Hey, they fired a bunch of tear gas at protesters. Look at this. Okay, so there's more people down here. Look at this.
I think that when the country is on the precipice of people being taken away without due process or something like that, and then people are trying to block the police by any means necessary from taking people away, honestly, in my opinion, you can probably morally justify it. Like, fuck. I don't know. Like, I just certainly don't really feel all that bad for the destruction of, or violence, or whatever the fuck, right? When people's due process is being taken away. Like, at that point, you can't have a democracy anymore, right? Like, it's a very anti-democratic, like, the very core of our democracy is due process, okay? Without due process, you have a dictatorship, all right? Yeah, that's it. It's a very thin line, all right? So I honestly can't blame people for acting crazy and wild, you know?
Right? There's more people here on this end of the street.
Like this is 100% like the breakdown of society, right?
I believe that is LA Sheriff's Department police there. Oh, flashbang? Uh-oh. Tear gas? Flashbang? What are we hearing? Oh, they're trying to clear those people out, it looks like. LA County Sheriff. Look at this. All those protesters out there. Now this is going on.
The protesters seem pretty tame, though. This is why I don't really want to see, like, an anti-woke person covering this, is because they literally only show like the 5% part of people being cringe. But then when it comes to like, and Twitter clips, all right, but then when it comes to like the majority of it, like I would rather see, you know, what most of it looks like. Which seems to be okay. Please go home. Who cares? That's not violent, right?
Put that up on the screen right now. Thinks that the authorities are guarding a business center. So there is a number of businesses where behind where those where those law enforcement are. I don't know if they're guarding that specific. Up of Home Depot cards. There you go. They're declaring unlawful assembly now and saying they have to leave. That's the first we've heard that. That's the.
I just don't get like, dude. Oh my god, it's so cringe. You have a bunch of people who are trying to maintain order in a disorderly system at this point, right? Like, fuck. I mean, if people are being sent away or deported without any kind of judicial process or anything like that, like, fuck. And the government is like disobeying judicial processes. That's not order. Like, what order are you talking about at this point? No, it's not Reza. Are you American? What's the background, if you don't mind me asking? I'm Chinese American, and my parents are immigrants.
First we've heard that. We had not heard that announcement before.
Like, there's obviously going to be some private business owner whose shop is going to be looted from this, and they're going to feel very anti-protest, right? But then on the flip side, there's also going to be a few immigrants whose arrests and kidnapping, I'm just going to call it kidnapping, have been prevented by something like this. And they're going to be very pro-protest, okay? So I'm just saying there's probably going to be, like, very reasonable, like, I'm just saying it just matters what perspective you're looking at this from. What's the bad that happened? ICE. ICE operating in California.
So they just declared it, they just announced it's an unlawful assembly, you need to leave, which we had not heard that before. So maybe we're going to see some more, the law enforcement go into the street and forcibly clear people extra gear on some of them. But Pam Bondi says,
I was tempted because like all the
says Border Patrol. People behind on the street back there, see? 5 minutes ago. Would do it. Enforce the law, and if you lay a hand on a law enforcement officer, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Wow. This is downtown Los Angeles.
Do you think any of the ICE raids were good, beneficial, justified to society? No. No. I think at this point they're just pretty much completely indefensible. Yeah. I think maybe in the beginning, you can probably make an argument that when they were, arresting people and then they were still undergoing the judicial system, in order to see whether or not they deserved to be deported or not. I would think like in that case, yeah, there's some good there. But like then in this specific scenario, it seems like now it has evolved into basically becoming the secret police for Donald Trump. And honestly, at that point, I feel like I can no longer justify the way that ICE is operating right now. Any? Yeah, any. Because it's very clear to me, now that they are willing to operate outside of the law. Okay? I'm saying that ICE itself is not even following the law. Like they're not. They're finding every single possible way to evade the law, find loopholes in the law to do what they want. So yeah, like the fact that they have like this absolute unprecedented power to do whatever the fuck they want is terrifying.
Is this like the VA hospital or something? I'm trying to figure out what building this is. What is this building? LA jail? Detention center? Federal detention center? I'm trying to find it. Hey, a quick thanks to Squit. Thank you for being a member. Rachel, Dolly, Hug, MTO.
Yeah, it takes a while to go.
Do they keep messaging you, or are you?
No, I'm putting something on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. So.
At protesters, that's in Paramount there. That's Paramount. Look. That's Paramount. It's so confusing. There's so much going on. That is Paramount, California. There's too much to show you.
How would you solve this immigration problem? Assuming that there really is one. If we're talking in good faith, probably a fast track to citizenship for immigrants and And I think one of the best ways to have undocumented immigrants come forward in order to like actually register them under the system is to let them know that they won't get arrested or deported if they were to come forward within this span of time or something, and then they're willing to be on track to something like a permanent work visa or something. I don't know, like something like that would probably be the best way to solve whatever immigration issue or whatever the fuck. Like the thing is at the end of the day, immigration, all right, in general, is extremely positive for the economy. And we see a lot of other countries who lack a lot of immigration stagnate, right? Korea, Japan, right? China, these like countries where they don't have a lot of immigrants, so then birth rates are declining until the whole country goes to hell, right? Um, but yeah, I honestly think like honestly, if you were to think about it, there's immigration has to be like one of the most least important issues in the United States. Like if you were to ask me, okay, the fact that like the fact that like the United States focuses so much on immigration is insane. There's a lot of other issues that are much more important than immigration, in my opinion. But yeah, okay, should we really get better, more efficiency? Yeah, like on it, like undocumented immigrants in the United States isn't the biggest issue. It just it's not a big deal. It literally is not. Yeah.
That is paramount
Like people whose green cards and visas, like sorry, not green cards, like people whose visas expire and they accidentally overstay, or people who how do I say it? Like people who don't even know that they're breaking the law. Like people don't even know that they're undocumented right now. People assume that they're still documented when in reality they're not documented anymore, right? Because of language barriers or whatever the fuck, right? It's just not a real problem. Everybody wants to work, right? Everybody wants to work. Everybody wants to do things, all right? Everybody wants to actually live their lives, all right? Like the perception that, you know, a lot of these undocumented immigrants are like criminals or rapists in waiting is just absolutely absurd, okay? If they really want to rape, if they really wanted to do crimes, they wouldn't have came to the United States to do so, all right? They wouldn't have tried to come to the United States to rape people. What the fuck? Right? People come to the United States to work. Okay? That's the number one. That's the number one thing is to work. Are you spy Foodshops? I'm sure, yes.
California.
Accidentally? What do you mean? Like, do you think people like try to be undocumented on purpose? The hell? Like, you don't think that somebody might accidentally overstay their visa for whatever reason? And then even then, undocumented immigrants pay a lot of taxes and they contribute towards Social Security. So, yeah. I mean, otherwise, you know, whatever. Yeah. Foodshops got pregnant accidentally on purpose. Do you think people ever get pregnant accidentally? This is just the question. Do you think people do you think that accidental pregnancies just never happen? Right? Me too. I also wondered this question. Okay. It's almost as if accidents do happen, right?